Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of Permission Granted Podcast. And this episode, like all the other ones, are very juicy and very deep. And it's a conversation that I don't think we tend to have too often, especially as women in the workspace and in the business space. Falling in love with your business and knowing when to let go of things that you should not be doing based on the shoulding yourself, and more on what's really calling you passionate wise within yourself. And it's funny that this is our conversation because I was in that energy space that myself this week. How about you ladies?
Definitely. Like the last 2 months for me.
And to the point of having such a clear message, and we were just chatting about this exact same thing. I think it was 2 or 3 days ago. Get anything done, so I just started deleting emails and getting myself out of Facebook groups that I've been in that I don't engage, for whatever reason. I just still kept them, and I just purged. It's not that I was frustrated, it's just that I felt this huge shift towards if I want new things to come in, I gotta make space, right? Love and gratitude, all that stuff, but I gotta make space.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
And we're in this space. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that Marie Kondo method of cleaning your spaces. And I think this week our energy was, we felt like we needed to Marie Kondo our business. And I know for me, last weekend, I was just in a space where everything just felt too oversaturated, too heavy, too much white noise. I went through my email list. I was going through even the socials that I follow on certain pages, subscriptions that I was pouring money into that I wasn't even taking advantage of these subscriptions because I felt like I had to have these subscriptions in order to be, at my best in my business. And the minute I started just severing those ties and clicking and unfollowing and doing the many things, I started feeling lighter and lighter and more into myself and more pivoting into my purpose versus just standing still and waiting for my purpose to come to me or expand for me. Does that make sense to you, ladies?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I've been in this space for the last couple of months, actually, and it's been progressing at a very slow rate, which is really frustrating for me because I'm super impatient. But what I've discovered is that it's actually we're suffering symptoms of overwhelm. We need to get back to ourselves because all of the things that we're focused on, the Facebook groups, the things we're doing, it's not feeling right. I want to fire to it. I want to go get a job. I want to, all these things are just symptoms of the unease that's in here, right? So when we take the time and we say, no, I'm not going to let that pull me today. I'm going to turn that off, which is super counterintuitive, right? Because we're we have to fix it. We have to fix it. We have to get in there. We have to do something. But when we turn that off and we focus on ourselves, so I've been doing puzzles. I've been reading. I've been cuddling with my kid. I have been meditating and, just doing my nails. I've been, going and doing these things that are feeling good for me and just taking that time to reinvigorate my soul, and the connection is coming back. I was just telling Kasha before the call that I'm feeling good, I'm feeling ready. All of the things I wanted to light fire to, all of the things I didn't want to do anymore, they're inspiring me again, right? So it's not always a case of we need to put this down forever. It's sometimes you just need a break.
Yeah.
Right? A weekend, a forced weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because as entrepreneurs, I'm better at this. I am definitely better, but I used to be a total workaholic, just a complete workaholic. If my kids were busy or my husband wasn't home, I'd be doing something because I have to get it done. I had this list mile long. And then I realized, okay, well, part of the reason I'm an entrepreneur is because I want freedom. So how is this freedom? I'm chained to my business. That's not working for me. So changes had to be made, and there's no one there standing over you telling you okay, it's 5 o'clock, shut it down, right? You have to do it for yourself. And I think, sort of going on this energy of love this month, it's falling in love with you and why the heck you're doing this in the first place.
Yeah. And I And also giving ourselves permission too, that we're quick to set boundaries for others in our life and business, but we also tend to forget that we need to set boundaries for ourselves, knowing, like Kasha said, I know I'm guilty of it. Many times I sat behind my laptop forcing myself to be on this marathon of like, I'm gonna get this is gonna get done. My kid thought that like on my forehead was like the Microsoft symbol for my laptop. It was ridiculous because like that's all he saw was like me behind my laptop. Yeah. And knowing that, setting these boundaries for myself, of knowing that I need to set an alarm, even if it's on my phone, get up and walk away, stretch for 15 minutes, go outside and get some fresh air, sit by a window. Did you notice that there was sun outside today because you were so busy behind your computer you weren't looking up? Like being mindful and having those intentional selfish moments for yourself during the period of the day, during the week, during the month, really speaks volumes of, like your ladies are saying, of turning it back intrinsically to ourselves and our soul. That pours out more energy in a good way than that forced situation of having to constantly feel like we need to, like, I hate, like the word even feels uncomfortable to say it, hustle and grind.
I hate that. Yeah.
I know. It's like the energy of efforting. Like the more you are putting effort out, the less it's working. Right. And the more you feel like you need to effort, and the less it works. It's a vicious cycle, right? And the only way to stop it is to turn that focus back on you. And how can I like lean back? How can I take a step back from this? The relationship with your business is really no different than the relationship with a friend or a partner, right? Sometimes you just need to get out of the headspace of the argument you're having.
Yes.
And take a minute and see things from their side, and you know, just take a little bit of time to let that energy ease off and then come back to it, right? Yeah. Anybody who's been with you know, a partner or like in a marriage for any number of years knows that we have these ebbs and flows. Nobody doesn't fight, right? Like we all have these moments of like wanting to strangle each other, and we always come back to it. Right? We love each other, and you love your business. So take the time to love yourself for a few minutes, and you know, letting that energy kind of ease out.
I think if our business were a person who could speak, would it want to be smothered like that?
No. Oh my God, that's such a beautiful point. That's such a beautiful point. And for me, I know in the last 6 months, I've been really soul searching on how I am approaching my business. And with that being said, I'm a people person. I ignite and I light up when I am within reference of being in person with people. And I had an opportunity, and I've been doing it on and off for many years, being a substitute secretary for a school system here and where I live. I decided to do it more often, and now I'm doing it like 3 or 4 or 5 times a week. It's for a few hours during the day. It doesn't take me away from what I do in my business. If anything, it ignites my passion for what I do for my business, because I'm still being of service. I'm being around people. I'm in a school, so I get to interact with the children. I'm interacting with people. I'm being of service in a different way that still ignites my passion for my business. So you're entitled to really navigate how you feel you want to show up. There is no structure of how you want to do your business. Is that right, ladies?
Absolutely.
For sure. Like if that feels good to you, then do that. You know, I think as entrepreneurs, we have this idea that we have to like slave away and make our business work. Yes. And, you know, if it feels good to have something part-time out there in the world, you know, then do that. If it feels good to, you know, work from your home because you like the privacy, then do that. If it feels good to have an office in a building or go and work at the library, like I know I can't work in a Starbucks because it's way too loud, but I like to go to the library sometimes just so that I'm around people. I can hear voices, you know, that aren't in my head. Right? Like, feel a little less crazy when they're actually real.
Rented my office to see my clients. It's actually such a treat for me to work from home because I don't have to like, you know, leave my pajamas some days. Yeah. I'm starting to resent it. So shake things up. Like that's my permission slip. I'm just going to go right in there.
Let's start. Go ahead. Permission slip. Do it.
you know, to shake things up and fall in love with what you're doing, and give yourself permission to fall out of love with the things that no longer serve you. It's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, permission granted to just feel into the energy of what you're doing, and release the need to effort. Like, just bring it back to you. What feels good right now? And if that is nothing to do with business, then so be it. It's okay. You will circle back around once you've rejuvenated your energy.
That's perfect. My permission slip is permission granted to stop effing yourself. And by that, I mean an effort. Like, stop forcing the effort, just like Shelly said, and allow yourself the gift of experimenting. Allow yourself to really test everything that you feel called to. That doesn't have to be something you do forever. It can just be in the meantime. Take what you need from that and then move on to something else, and start collecting those moments, those circumstances, those ideas, those situations that work for you, and let everything, just let it go.
Mhm.
So, all right, guys, this was an amazing episode. I think we touched upon a lot of things that really this conversation is not spoken as often around the water cooler, or like the, you know, the Starbucks of America. And by us bringing this out, feel free to, if you have any questions and comments, put them down, you know, below this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're here. Tell a friend, tag a friend. Click the link below for our manifesto. Those are our huge, powerful statements that we live by, that we created this energy for this podcast. And we welcome you guys to take it, print it, share it with a friend, read them often, put them in a place that empowers you like it empowers us. So until next time, thank you for being here, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.